So just like with most of these situations that happen now, whenever a writer and producer in a studio have an idea for a show that they think is going to blow away the audience, they're going to go against the grain, they're going to do something brand new, they're going to troll the trolls, they're going to break the fourth wall, all these stupid things that She-Hulk did. Just like every other time one of these producers, one of these writers decide to do a show like this, it ends up failing. It gets a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, just like She-Hulk did. Same thing with He-Man and Master of the Universe. Same thing that G4 TV did with their audience, even though it's not a TV show. It's the same thing that they tried to do. You know, they're trying to go against the grain. They're trying to call out people who are really the ones that are paying their bills. If these people were to just lean in and appease the people who have been paying their bills for the last 10 years when it comes to Marvel, they would make so much money. But instead, they're demonizing those people. Instead, they're going after those people. They're trolling the trolls, but the trolls that they're trolling are just the people who like Marvel. They just wanted it to stay the same. They wanted it not to stay the same, but to not go this drastically in the other direction from what they were, from the IP that they fell in love with. This is not Marvel, man. Seeing She-Hulk twerk on screen, the fourth wall breaks, seeing Kevin Feige as a little machine, that's not Marvel, man. It's just not. And you can't blame the fans for not liking this. I understand it's supposed to be a spoof. You're wanting to troll the trolls or whatever, but it's just not. It's not good. You did it in very poor taste. Honestly, I think you did it in bad faith, if I'm being real. I think it was bad faith. I don't think that this is supposed to be like a lighthearted joke, a lighthearted jab towards the fans. Even if it is, that's a stupid waste of money. You know, I understand why Kevin Feige didn't want to put any money into this and why the VFX, the CGI were so bad, because it's just a waste of money to do, because this isn't what Marvel fans like. It's just not Marvel, man. It's not up to par of what we should expect from Marvel. You know, Marvel has the Disney budget. There's no reason for it to be this bad. She-Hulk star says series exists as an FU to critics. Head writer boasts, part of me really loves trolling the trolls. If it's an FU to critics, I don't think this is an FU to critics at all. I think this is an FU to the fans who have been paying Marvel's bills, who have been putting money in Marvel's pockets, Kevin Feige's pockets, for the longest time. And in this article, they go into how they argued with Kevin Feige. They wanted it to get worse and worse. They wanted the finale to be more and more of an FU to the fans, and Kevin Feige ended up having to shut them down because he was like, that's a little bit too far. And honestly, it existing at all is a little bit too far in my opinion. But even Kevin Feige knows who has gone in this direction. He signed off on all this. There's no denying it. He's the one that signed off on all this. Even he is like, hey, we can't go that far. You know, we have to save some sort of face with these fans. We can't completely demonize them because the low IQ people will still stick around and keep paying our bills. But if we go too far, then even the low IQ people will be able to realize that we don't like them. You know, we want to capture another fan base. We don't want them anymore. You know, we don't want to have the straight white males or the straight males liking our stuff. We need the pink-haired, shaved head women. That's who we want. Speaking first with Maslany, the trade news outlet asked the She-Hulk star how it felt to see the finale, or see said finale, tackle some of the same exact trolling comments that Marvel fans have been making, to which she praised, Jessica Gao, I don't know how to say her last name, is a genius and knows about the culture we're living in and her position in it when she's writing these stories about a woman superhero. Is she really a genius for doing this? Because I've seen countless female superhero stories. Honestly, I like the first Wonder Woman movie. I thought it was a really good movie. A lot of people disagree with me, but I really enjoyed that movie. I was looking forward to the second one, and you know, obviously it didn't really live up to the hype, but I thought it was a pretty good movie. So I don't think that just because it's a female superhero doesn't mean it can't succeed. I think this is a cop-out show, honestly. I think that these people don't know how to write a female superhero, so they make a show that trolls the trolls. A horrible attempt at trolling the trolls, because all you did, like I said, was demonize the audience that's going to pay your bills. And also, She-Hulk it was never marketed well. I don't think most people would even want to watch a She-Hulk show in the first place. And then the diehard audience that really loves Marvel, that loves the comics, that probably loves She-Hulk from the comics as well, those are the people who were trying to troll. So not only is the show not appealing to a wide audience, but the very small audience that it is appealing to, you're demonizing them. It doesn't make any sense. That's not genius. That's really, really stupid. She knows what that response is going to be, added Jennifer Walters, actress. As a cast, it was delightful sending each other these troll responses like, oh my god, give them a weekend, when they're going to literally see this pop up verbatim in the show and become the villains of the show. It was thrilling. Yeah, so thrilling that when fans don't like a show that you're creating, that you get to troll them in the end. You know, at least you won. And then she even said it on Twitter. She even, well, I don't know if it was the actual star of the show or if it was a different actress, but I believe it was the star, said, at least she got the role, at least she got paid. That's all that really matters. We got to troll the trolls. We made a horrible show that it puts a huge stain on Marvel's name, on the MCU's name. But hey, at least we got to troll the trolls and we got to fill our pocketbooks. That's all that matters, right? We're not going to be able to fill our pocketbooks for much longer, though, because this show's definitely not getting to season 2. And if Marvel keeps going in this direction, if the MCU keeps going in this direction, they're not going to be making that much money for that much longer, man. I don't see it being profitable unless they cut costs like they did with this show and they have horrible CGI. They just don't put that much budget into it. But if they keep putting, big budget like they did with Endgame and Infinity War into these movies, the MCU movies, and they go in this direction and they try to demonize their own fans that have been paying their bills for the longest time, Marvel, the MCU is not going to be profitable for that much longer. So they have to turn it around. Kevin Feige has to realize that, man. I think he does, but I think that he either might not care, he's either checked out of Marvel because he's moving on to a different studio sometime soon, or he just lost control. That's the only two options in my opinion. There's no way that Kevin Feige, the same Kevin Feige that built the MCU from the ground up, is signing off on this kind of thing in his right mind. If he truly cares, and if he's really in control of the MCU still, there's no way he's signing off on this. There's no way. Met with a follow-up question of whether or not she was expecting to face the trolls when you signed on for the show, Maslany inserted, reading the script, it was so true. There's so much resistance to a woman just existing in the space of superheroes. That's such BS, man. It's just such BS. I've seen so many people, I've seen so many people talk about how their favorite superheroes are women. But this was before this war started happening. Now it's like, we've been told so many times that we don't like women superheroes. It's like, it's almost starting to become true, because they always make them these extremely unlikable people now because they want to go so hard against the people who don't like women superheroes that they make their female superheroes now so unlikable, like Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. They wanted to make her such a strong, powerful woman that they made her extremely OP and had no journey, no hero's journey in the movie at all. And the same thing with Rey. Like, you just make her extremely OP. Now for the rest of the MCU, Brie Larson's Captain Marvel is just the most powerful thing to ever exist. And I don't know if that's comic accurate or not, but like I said, it's nothing to do with them simply being a woman. It's just not. It's just not true. I've seen so many people, on YouTube and in real life, my friends, who their favorite superheroes or some of their favorite superheroes are women. So that's such an idiotic statement. They just want to be victims. That's all it is. There's always going to be that. I sort of anticipated it. It's why I also feel it's important. There's such an entitlement to space held by certain people, and to even exist as She-Hulk is like an FU, and I love that. Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but She-Hulk existed a long time before you. So I don't think that you being cast as She-Hulk, a woman being cast as She-Hulk when She-Hulk was always a woman, is any sort of FU to the fans, because these fans have loved She-Hulk for the longest time. They just don't like your She-Hulk because it's a really stupid show. It's a stupid concept for a show, and you try to demonize the fans. The only reason why you try to demonize the only reason why this show is being made. Turning to Gal, Variety asked the series head director if Marvel had given her any suggestions for the hate comments they get online, to which she confirmed the conversation between Jen and Kevin is very much the relationship I have with Kevin in real life, and a lot of it that is taken from conversations I've had with him. That scene, here we go right here, was so much longer in the scripts. She then teased of a particularly painful alternate timeline. If they had let me, I probably would have written a 10-minute conversation of my avatar arguing with Kevin. This is probably the tightest version of what it could have been. There were a couple of jabs where Kevin was like, okay, this is a little mean now. That is crazy that they tried to go that far to where Kevin Feige, who, he can't stand up for himself anymore. He's a straight white male. He can't stand up for himself anymore against these shaved head weirdos, because how is a straight white male going to tell me how to write a show about women? That don't make any sense, And then if he tries to tell her, she's just going to go to Twitter and be like, hey, I tried to write this. I tried to make her super powerful and empowered, but Kevin Feige, the straight white male, shut me down. I think he should be canceled. So he can't do that. But even Kevin Feige was like, look, this is my reputation on the line here. I can't be having you totally trash these fans that have been paying my bills for the last 10 years. That's just not going to happen. You have to at least cut it down a little bit. I think it's unbelievable he even signed off on this finale in the first place, but at least he made them cut it down a little bit, and hopefully he learned his lesson from the backlash of it. Probably not, though. I would say that the MCU is probably going to go downhill probably gonna get a lot worse before it gets better. But let me know what you guys think about the whole situation. What did you think about She-Hulk, the finale, the entire show, and how do you think the MCU is going to be post She-Hulk as well? If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to follow me on Twitter. The link to that will be in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.